So here's our spot for the day. Unfortunately, it's not natural. It is a man-made lake, but it's just 3 minutes from my house, and I know there's fish in here. It's a nice calm day, no ripples. So I'll show you guys what you need to get set up and the techniques that I recommend. Alright guys, today we're going to be setting up our pole, finding out what gear to use as well. So as you can see, I've got a dark green color line. This blends in well with the lakes and ponds around here. As you can see, it's kind of a swampy type area, so you want to try to blend in as best as possible. So to start off, we're going to be putting on a swivel. That's this type of piece that connects the line to your lure for quick release. So find the end of your line, put it through the swivel top, and the knot we're going to be using, you go through once more, and then a third and final time, and then come out to the front and loop it through the front. Now you're going to grab that, pull it. Now this is important. You want to wet the knot so that way it sets firmly. I always repeat that a second time. That way I don't lose the big fish. You don't want to put in all the effort only to find out that your gear fails. I've seen that happen all too often. You can see I pulled it, and now it cinches on itself. Make sure you don't get your tongue stuck in that loop when you're pulling it shut. That would be bad. That's that done. Now, you're going to grab your knife. I use the Kershaw. It's not a fixed blade, it's a quick release. It's got a pretty good release on it, as you can see. I'll do a review on it later on. And then cut that line. Make sure you're not leaving your line behind for other animals to get. They can eat it and die. Don't want that happening. So now you're all set up with your quick release. Now it's up to you if you want to do this with a swivel or just tie straight onto your lure. The pros and cons of a swivel: it's quicker, easier, but the fish may pick up on it. They can see what you're doing. They can see what you got. So, as you can see, it's a calm day. So that means we want to try to draw as much attention as possible to our lure and make it seem like it's a prey for the fish. So I like to start off with a top water lure. So I got, as you can see, a hula popper. It's got a concave mouth, so it makes bubbles as it goes along, like this. They spurt out. I got same concave mouth, but with a frog, so you want to try to make that jump across the water. And lastly, the famous jitterbug. It's got a big, wide bill, makes some good bubbles and attracts a lot of attention. My favorite part about these type of lures is that when the fish bite, they jump up and attack it. They go high in the air, and it's a great sight to see. So we're going to start off with the jitterbug for now. It's a brand new one, so I want to see how it does. Now if it's not a calm day, if it's choppy out, you're not going to want to do the topwater technique, because all the waves and ripples aren't going to make a difference in the fish's eye of the bubbles that you're making with your lure. You're going to want to go for a deep diver when it's like that. What I just put on I like it. I'm not promoting it, of course. I bought it myself. It's called Liquid Mayhem. It's crayfish guts, and it does seem to help, so I just rub it on. I don't do it every time because I like to see what a difference it does make. So I'm just showing you guys. There's options out there, different ones, but this one is one of the best because it actually stays on. Now you're ready to cast out. Alright, so we're finally ready to head out. Got my hula popper on. So the object of this is to cast out far, and as you can see I'm going to try to jig the reel every so often to make the bubbles pop. That will really attract the fish, and you should get lots of bites. So you can vary it. I do maybe one jig every 5 seconds. So I'll pull and then slow reel for 5 seconds. And the slow reel is usually when the fish hit the lure. So they like to think of it as sort of a game, maybe like a tag game. So they like to see your lure as a prey. They don't want to just see it sitting there. So you got to make it have action. You got to move it around a bit. So cast out. And this is how you make it pop. Short little wrist movements. And the slow reel for a bit. Alright, so I was getting pretty fed up with the top water lure. Wasn't even getting any bites. I think I'll switch to a more camouflaged one that looks like an actual fish as it's swimming along. So, just take this off. This is the benefit of the swivel. If you get easily bored, you can just unclip it, put a new one on. So I'm going to use this one. It's made by a Japanese company, Shimamatsu or something. As it's swimming along, it really flails around and looks like a dying bait fish. Man, just gotta keep trying. It's called fishing, not catching. Well guys, I just got knotted up pretty bad, so I think we're gonna call it a day there. But didn't catch anything. That's why fishing is so addictive though, because it's completely random, just like gambling. Simple, random, positive reinforcement. So once you get hooked, you can't stop.